2019 Cats is the worst film ever made. But Brad, there's so many terrible films out there that look so terrible. It doesn't even look like a movie. And what does that matter? Yeah, but this has a good big production on it, and it has big cast names for it, right? And it's got a good musical number. No, it doesn't. And this is where this movie is one of the worst films ever made. You look at some of these other films that are just so bad, and it makes you just laugh hilariously over and over again of how bad it made this movie. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if your movie looks better than those other movies that are made with $1 million budget. Some of those movies do try, and they just don't have the talent for it. This film has a lot of talent. You look at all the casting: Jennifer Hudson, Judi Dench, Taylor Swift, James Corden, for all crying out loud, is in this movie. And Tom Hooper, the director, who's done other musicals before. And you're taking a name of a very popular and one of the highest grossing musicals of all time that I think isn't really good at all and extremely overrated. And you combine all it together, this should have been kind of interesting. And it became one of the most boring, worthless, not caring film I've ever seen. Not caring. And when you think about how all this was put together, you think this was just a cash grab. They were just trying to make money, and that was it. I don't know how they got these big name stars to come on here. I don't know what they told them. They probably told them, yeah, we're going to make a Cats movie. And yeah, you should be in it because you're just going to sing. That's all you're going to do is sing for the movie. You're not really going to act because we're just going to have body doubles just do everything for you. And that's it. But like, did they tell them how weird this CGI was? Because this CGI was awful. It is so ridiculously terrible. And I know everyone's been talking about that, but if you think about it, it seems so lazy. Like they just threw on a weird CGI cat costume and they just took the performers and just put it on them. They didn't have to do anything with their face. They didn't have to do anything that made it all match together. It just looks so terrible. I don't know why they went this direction. And I don't think anyone does. I've looked for an explanation and I just do not get it. And I feel bad for the people who had to animate this film because they're working their butts off to make these look so good and it just looks so terrible. And I feel bad for those people who had to animate it just because of their job and they knew it was terrible. So I'll give that credit to those animators, but that's it. And I think everything else is just so uninteresting. It's so boring. It's the same thing over and over again. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. We get a new character. He gives us a musical number, explains one note personality, and that's it. Boom, done. But when you get that so many times throughout the film, it gets so annoying. Because you feel like, all right, when's this movie going to start? When's the plot? And you get a little plot here and there. You get it for maybe 2 minutes. Maybe for 30 seconds. And you get another character. They just come out of nowhere. And you're bored. And you sit there and you're like, wow, I got a lot of time left. Because this movie is 2 hours. 2 hours. There's no reason for this film to be 2 hours. It should have been 1 hour and 20. Because there's so much filler and there's so much stuff going on. It just doesn't work. I understand they were trying to be a cash grab, but why couldn't they just change it a little bit? Why couldn't they have had any artistic integrity and actually try to do something different? Add original songs, cut some of that stuff out. Just use it as a source of the idea of cats in this, trying to impress for this afterlife. You can do so much deep stuff with it, have a little meta humor in it and saying how it's weird. You could have actually had pretty humorous and pretty silly movie that knew what it was going for. It could have worked if you really think about it. But they went for the lazy cash grab route and it was terrible. I don't know what happened here because it seems like they were doing the same thing with the $1.5 billion film, aka the trash Lion King, where that movie just shot for shot was just the same exact thing. And yeah, I get it. But they changed points of this film with Idris Elba, the cat in this one, and he's supposed to be the villain, but they add this weird subplot undertone that has added stuff to it. I don't want to spoil that. It doesn't work for the world of this film built, but it just feels like they just threw it in there so it made a couple of plot devices easier for things to happen in the film and whatever plot that this film did have. That's just insane, right? Why didn't they just copy it? It would have just been so much easier to do. And after a while, I didn't care about the characters. I didn't know any of the characters' names at all. I think Old Deuteronomy is one of the characters. I think Judi Dench plays her. I don't know. That's the only name I know. Because it's just, you don't care and you don't really know anything about them. And none of them progress. None of them develop. But Brad, it's just like the musical. Yeah, well, I said this before, that the musical is not good. So this movie is just bound to not be good. And that's a major problem. So I'll say this in conclusion. Don't go support this film. If you want to rent to a couple friends, make fun of it, watch it, or actually try to enjoy it, cool, you can go do that. Fans of the musical, if you enjoy this film, I'm glad you do, and I'm glad it brings you happiness. But for me personally, I think it's one of the worst films that I've ever seen, because it has all this talent and it just makes a very boring, unimaginative, and really just ugly looking movie that feels worthless and feels like I did not gain anything from it. I didn't gain any entertainment value. I didn't learn anything from it. And I didn't look at anything different. I didn't see great technical movie making. I didn't see anything that was worth rewatching again. And this film gets a big, fat 0 out of 10. It is not even worth seeing. Please go support other films and other musicals that are just a lot better. So if you really like this video, hit the drop down button, subscribe, hit a like, comment if you like, and if there's any other videos that you want me to do besides reviews or about films and everything on that sort, please send me your questions and your comments my way. And I hope I see you guys next time in the next video. So have a good one. Before I go, shout out to my girlfriend Maddie, who actually gave me these cat ears for this review, because I feel like it was very necessary to wear, and I already look better than every single cat in the new Cats film. So shout out to her, and I hope you guys enjoy these, because I think it definitely adds to this amazing, great, and fantastic film that Cats 2019 is.